What's up, y'all? Good evening. This is Marcus Frazier here from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Greatly appreciated. Or if it's the daytime, whenever you're watching this video, I'm sorry, I'm so used to doing it on Facebook and Instagram Live. It's a little different for me doing it on YouTube now. First and foremost, if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you can stay up to date with all notifications when Teachable Tuesday videos come your way. Please give this video a like and comment. You know, that helps out with YouTube algorithms, because if you don't like it, don't comment, it doesn't get seen. And I'm pretty sure I have a message that, you know, everybody can relate to and that may help you, or if not you, may help somebody that you may know. Last week we talked about persistence. We're in a persistence series right now. This is part 2. So if you did not watch part 1, I encourage you to actually shut off this video at this time and go back to part 1 and then jump into part 2, just so that way you're not like too far behind and whatnot. But if you are watching this video, I'm assuming that you're okay with it and we're continuing on the series. All right. Also, follow me on Instagram, ACTRealMC. With all that being said, persistence and dealing with fear during your persistence. That's what we're talking about right now. All right. So in case you missed last week's episode, persistence, the definition of persistence is to keep trying, to never give up, to, you know, keep having at it, as, you know, the old folks will say, right? So when you're being persistent, that means no matter what your goals or dreams are, no matter what obstacles you may come your way, you're going to continue trying. You're not going to give up. That is the definition of being persistent. That's one perspective, one way you can look at it. However, there is one obstacle that traps a lot of people, myself included. That obstacle is fear. It's an acronym for false evidence appearing real. It's something that pretty much develops in your mind to make you think that there's a worst case scenario coming your way, and it could not even be a worst case scenario, but because of certain situations or because of what is like happening in front of our face or what has happened in the past, something in our mind begins to think, I don't know if I can do this, or I'm not sure if this can happen. Even if you're the most persistent person on this planet, understand that at some point you're going to face fear. It can't be helped. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. It happens to the rich. It happens to the poor. It happens to everyone. All right? So you may be thinking to yourself, well, Marcus, yeah, that's true. But how in the world do I get over fear and still remain persistent? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's 3 ways that you can get past that fear. Number 1, you have to acknowledge that the fear is real, okay? So many times we brush off to the side when we're scared of something, and we just like look past it and like, there ain't nothing, ain't no big deal. And I don't mean ain't no big deal like I'm gonna easily get past this. You say ain't no big deal so that way you don't gotta face it. No, you gotta face your fears head on, okay? Acknowledge the fact that it's there. If you've been persistent in going to the gym and losing weight, you may have a fear of thinking, I'm not gonna get the body that I want, because progress may not be happening the way you want it to happen. Or you might want to talk to a woman or a man, and you know, all of a sudden you're scared to talk to him. Fear's creeping in your mind. Why? Because you might get rejected. All those things are valid emotions, and they're natural emotions. But just because the fear is there does not mean you have to let it take control over you. So yes, acknowledge that the fear is there. Acknowledge that you're scared. Acknowledge that this thing kind of has you shook up a little bit. It's hard for you to move. But after you acknowledge the fear, understand that you control the narrative. So acknowledge fear. Say, fear, you know what? I see you, bruh. But guess what? I control the narrative. You control the narrative by pouring into yourself, encouraging yourself, telling yourself, you know what? Yes, I'm scared, but I'm still going to overcome this. And you may be thinking, well, Marcus, that's just some motivational mumble jumble. And maybe it is to some people. But if you say it enough times, eventually it's going to get to a point where you're going to start doing it, which leads me to my 3rd point. You got to do it. No matter how scared you are, you got to go up and get at it. You got to wake up every day, just like I told you guys in the last video, and say, this is what I want. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let nothing or nobody stop me, not even fear. And fear is a very hard thing to overcome, but it's not impossible. We all get scared. It's okay. But I need you to understand that you can't stay scared. Eventually, you got to shake it off and keep it moving. And you're going to encounter fear so many times in your journey to your goals, your destination, but don't let it take control of you, okay? So let's do a quick recap. Acknowledge fear, change the narrative, and keep going at it. I promise you, you do those 3 things, fear will no longer have control over you. All right? So I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. Next week, we're going to be talking about persistence and how we can get through our goals for 2020. All right? So this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Please go ahead and subscribe if you didn't do so already, and have a great day or evening. Peace.